My name is Delita Martin. I am an artist, printmaking, drawing. Drawing's, of course, my first love, but I felt like I had gotten to a point where I wanted to take it further, and I had, gotten to the point I was like, well, what do I do next? So I discovered printmaking totally on accident, and it was such a magical experience. It was almost like a dance. One person was rolling up, one person was wiping the plate, someone was bringing the paper, and I sat there and I watched for about 30 minutes, and I was like, I've got to do this. One day I'm going to be a printmaker. I had no experience in undergrad with printmaking, but it was something I always wanted to do. So during the day, I would sit in on undergraduate classes to learn process, and at night I would work on my work. I went through all the different printmaking processes, very well versed in each one, but relief was one of my favorites, and of course lithography, because it's so closely related to drawing. So it printmaking kind of took drawing to that next level for me. The work that I do are primarily portraits of African American women, and my work is about reconstructing the identity of African American women. You have the stereotypes of Mammy, Jezebel, Sapphire, and people sometimes look at the images that I make and they date them. They think of Mammy, or they think about these different stereotypes, and I'm sometimes asked, why are you drawing these women with headscarves on their head? That's such a Mammy-esque figure. And my response to them is that this is my heritage that I come from, which is very important to me. My father was present, my uncles were present, but the women were so powerful, not to the point that they took over, but they were definitely pillars in our community and in the home. So this is something that I saw every day and something that I wanted to bring to my work. The women in my family, they were quilt makers, they were storytellers, and this is my way of visually telling these stories and recording my history. I keep a lot of photographs in my studio, and I've never really been interested in portraiture, just, I have to capture this person. I've always been interested in capturing the spirit of the person. So no one portrait is an individual, it's a compilation of many women in the community, as we are one. And I think that relates back to those quilting sessions with my grandmother. She would pull all of these pieces of old clothing out, and she would piece together a quilt, but she could tell me about every single piece of fabric, where it came from, where it went. So we would piece together our history, who we were. So my work is very much pieced together like that, and the stories of these women are very important.